from Los Angeles. This is Montserrat Radio. Listening to Montserrat Radio.
What's going to happen to them? Anyways, let's do it one more time. Let's go through the historic post by Iraqi Day and what has happened here. ISIS, breaking news. ISIS has blown up the Al-Nuri, the ancient Al-Nuri Mosque, which was going to be the symbol of liberation for Iraq when a body planted the flag, was going to plant the flag there, okay, of liberation. That can no longer happen. We got to find a new place for a body to plant the flag. Yeah, maybe he plants it on the rubble. I don't know. Okay, so the caliphate had been completely wiped out at the hands of the Iraqi forces and didn't want to give up the mosque, so they blew it up.
In the spirit of the war against fake news, Montserrat Radio presents The Fake News Show. Conspiracy news and a different point of view of current events. And now your host, Benny Wilson.
Good evening, my friends, my jets, and everybody who's listening to my show. Welcome to the Fake News Show. This is your host, Benny. I was going to go and basically give my thoughts on today's event because we just got a breaking news. They just blew up the Al-Nuri Mosque in Iraq. The place where it's supposed to be prepared and ready for the liberation of Iraq from ISIS and Daesh. Just recently I told my jets that this morning they were actually preparing the whole place to have an announcement. And now we have news that they just blew it up. So, as you can see, this is bad news. Regardless if you are Muslim or not Muslim, it's bad news. But in this case, like I said yesterday, we need to have bad news coming. We need to embrace the bad news. That's what I said. Because when we see bad news coming up, then we can say we're there. It's about to end. There are more bad news coming up. Okay? There are more bad news coming up. Because right now, they can easily use this event to delay the revaluation of the Iraqi dinar. Yes, they can. As a matter of fact, the news are saying that the terrorists that have control of this mosque did not want to give it up, so they decided to blow it up. That was the place where they supposed to announce it, that everything was done, that everything was free. So the place that basically they started the caliphate has been destroyed by their own hands, by their own terrorists. So now where Abad is going to plant the flag, because he needs to do that. That was an agreement. Let me just tell you that. The agreement was that he's supposed to plant a flag and declare Iraq free. It was supposed to be a Hollywood stage directed and broadcasting by the mainstream media. I even said it yesterday. The mainstream media is supposed to broadcast the whole thing and it will trigger something. And that's what the majority of the gurus are waiting. And I even said it and I'm going to repeat it again. 99 of the gurus are expecting that after they give the okay, there will be a change of the rate in Iraq. There will be a change in the rate, meaning we will see the RB. That's what 99% of the gurus are waiting. There's only one little problem. Me. I do not and I don't expect the RB happens after they declare Iraq free. And I said many times, they've been saying a lot of times, they've been asking me, why, Benny, why? Because they don't pay attention what I just tell you. Because I just told you, and I'm going to repeat it again, that it will come, the RB will come in a moment that everybody has lost all hope. Okay? The RB will happen in a moment that everybody will say, well, that's it. We're going to have to wait years to come. Alright? And why I saying that? Because I'm following the prophecy. Because we need to find a place where it says, and when things get at the worst, meaning that things are going to get worse. Okay, so today we have another bad news. Yesterday we had another bad news with United States and Russia. And then now today we have our first bad news in Iraq. So we need to embrace those bad news because we are about to see the big change. So whether they plant the flag, whether they do the broadcasting worldwide, broadcast it in the mainstream media, whether they do it or they don't do it, the only thing important here is that, number one, Iraq can be happy. That's the number one important thing. If they are happy, we are happy. And the second thing that will happen will be any announcement that the government of Iraq will give to the world. I'm going to repeat that again, because I'm not contradicting myself. You just have to listen what I'm going to tell you. The second thing that they might happen, and I think it's going to happen, is the announcement of the government of Iraq. We gotta wait for an announcement of the government of Iraq. And now, let me repeat myself again, what I just told you in the past. Do not be surprised that they say that they have no intentions to revalue their currency. Didn't I say that? Do not be surprised they tell you, nope, we're gonna wait more years to revalue our currency. Let's assume that they don't do that. Let's assume that they don't tell you that, the currency is not going to revalue. Let's just assume that they give us a hint that they're not going to revalue, period. What do you think the people's going to feel? Do you think probably people will be devastated because of that news? Well, you got to be prepared, right? That is the reason why I tell everybody, enhance the bad news. Embrace the bad news, because God is about to give us a big surprise. Huge surprise. Alright? And I'm going to tell you something else. I said it in the last two shows that I'm not going to give you more breaking intel, because I've been told to shut up. But I'm going to tell you something. July has been prophesied not only by humans or by prophets, but also by computers, to be a very significant month through the year. 2017 has been the year of changes, and also the year of ending process. At the beginning of the year, most of the most famous spiritual leaders declared 2017 as the year of the Jubilee, as the year that God will express Himself to the whole world. And right after we exchange, and I'm going to tell you something, when we exchange, not only everybody's going to be really happy, but we might tend to have the problem of forgetting about our blessing. And I need to have a moment to remind you that when you exchange, when you get filthy rich, you will have a moral obligation. And your moral obligation will be to the people around you, to your planet. Because the more money you have, the more responsibility you're going to have. Now, everybody, the first thing they do, and I'll say everybody watch their back first. And they say, well, if I have any money left, I'll help people. Well, let me just tell you something. Assume that your Father, the God, had the same attitude that you do. Assume that God said, well, if I have any blessing left, I'll give it to you. Do you think, would you ever become rich if your Father, your Holy Father, has the same attitude that you do? I don't think so. So, I have placed many hints to you, to the audience, because in the next 2 weeks, it will be the 2 more important weeks of your life. But it's going to be a time to reflect on yourself, to reflect on what you've done. Because for the big majority, for a good majority, they don't care about the words that I'm saying. They only care about one thing. I just want to get to the cash and get out and the hell with everybody. So this radio show is not for them. This radio show is for those who have ears and understand my words. Because you need to understand that you will make a big difference. Now, I will give you just one little hint. When you get your 800 number, you still need to be careful. And I'm going to say this because I just got the numbers here. I was speaking to somebody, and assumingly about 40% of the people who listen to me are in private exchanges. So to those who are in private exchanges, this is your message. Be careful with your 800 number. Find out what it's about. Do not surrender your money before you know everything is fine. Do not surrender your money just because you've been waiting all these years and now you want to get filthy rich. Do not surrender your money unless you see a entity that is 100% legal and you understand that you will get your deposit done. Because in the next 2 to 3 weeks, we all gonna be witness of the big fraud that is coming. A big fraud called private exchanges. This is the reason why I've been hate. This is the reason why I've been attacked all the time. Because I'm destroying the criminals behind the private exchanges. Because that's what they are, criminals. Regardless of what they're telling you, that is for humanitarian reasons. This is your message. This is actually your last message because I've been told to shut up. So, today it is a great day. We are having bad news. We are having excellent bad news. And I'm not trying to offend the Muslims. No, not at all. But when I'm talking about bad news, because the war is ended. The war is done. Okay? Because regardless whether you believe in Islam or not, this is a place where they use it for praying. So regardless whether you like it or not, as Christians, we need to respect praying places. Regardless, okay? Regardless. Because we're Christian, we're not hard people that have no feelings. Actually, as a matter of fact, we got more feelings than any other people. Alright? But for those who are investing in this dinar stuff and dong, oh, by the way, I will tell you something about the dong. We need to embrace the bad news because it's about to end. Period. You gotta watch for this weekend, okay? You gotta watch for this weekend. I want you to watch the news on this weekend. Alright? And also, I will tell you about the dong. And watch how, whenever I say something about the dong, all the other gurus posting up, just like yesterday, when I had my jet calling me and saying to everybody, broadcasting the whole world that the rate of the dong actually changed, and then they put it back again. Other gurus were taking this news like they actually get it from themselves. So they copycats. I know that. So just watch what they're gonna say, because this is your place where you're gonna read, where you're gonna actually get the truth news. The only fake about me is the name of my show. Alright, so watch for those people who got dong as the majority of the currency. Because in the next 4 days, people are gonna be screaming. In the next 4 days, we are going to see a lot of stuff in the dome. Okay? Don't be carrying out all those millions of dons within you. And try to run into the bank. I just got like 3 people that they say they're gonna do that. Don't do that. Just wait for instructions. Okay? But in the next 4 days, we're gonna see great changes. Not only the dong, also in the dinar. And we're probably gonna see in the rupiah. Alright? So, this show is gonna be kind of a short because I just wanna bring it up. This breaking news. I'm sorry for the people in Iraq by having their mosque blown up, because after all, these people have suffered enough. But I want to direct this show with all due respect to everybody. And for those people who are still attacking me, God bless you. Today, I'm just not going to give you more news, more breaking news, because there isn't anymore. And like I said, I'm going to continue shutting up. I'm not going to mention anything that I know is going to happen, because I don't want to be accused of delaying this process. We are about to end. That's it. I have received 145 emails asking me why I should shut up, why I don't tell them what's coming out. I just said it because I do not want to say anything. This is about to end. It is not about Benny becoming very famous. It's about you go on with your life. Don't you rather have money in your hand and go on with your life and stop this guru bullshit and waiting for my show? I bet everybody will say, yes, you're right, Benny. Well, guess what? I'm with you. And I don't want to continue this show. I want to go on with my own life. I want to help the people I want to help. And I want to embrace everyone through the 3 years that I came out from basically in the open. I want to embrace them, salute them, maybe even do a little tour through the United States and meet all these people around me. That's what I want to do. For now, like I said, just wait for the next 4 to 5 days. It's going to be interesting. It's going to be precious. The more bad news you get, the better. Okay? So thank you so much for listening. And I'll see you next time in another edition of the Fake News Show. For now, thanks and God bless everybody.
Thank you for listening to the Fake News Show with Benny. See you next time for more conspiracy news, current events, and intel from the most controversial show from Montserrat Radio.